Twisted People, it's your Twisted Girl here, Chauncey K. Robinson, aka Twisted CKR, and today I am doing a spoiler-free review of Scream 5 with 3 reasons against and for watching the new addition to the Scream franchise. Scream 5, titled Scream for some reason without the 5, is another addition to the Scream franchise that comes in more like a lamb than a lion. While it's not horrible, it's a slasher formula that we've seen before, and we've actually seen it done better. 3 reasons against watching Scream 5. It's an unnecessary lore/chapter addition to the Scream franchise. Honestly, while watching this film towards the end and especially towards the middle, I was wondering, why was this made? What is this adding to the Scream legacy, to the story that we got, particularly in the first 3 Screams that were very much a succinct, followed and connected story, and if Scream 5 was going to take that to another height or not. And unfortunately it doesn't. It's very much an addition, but it's an addition that you're also kind of thinking, at least for me when I finished it, of did we need this addition? And I don't think you ever want to ask, did we need it? I don't think it can be, oh, you can take it or leave it. It should be, yes, this needed to be added. And unfortunately, it just was and felt quite unnecessary. Lackluster, newer characters. Now, my guess is these younger characters, the high schoolers and whatnot, were brought in for a new generation of people who would be introduced to the Scream franchise. But this is the thing. The Scream franchise, it didn't age badly. The same people who may not have seen it could watch it now. And I honestly, truly believe it would hold up just fine. So I didn't really understand how or why they had characters that seemed kind of just a redux of the characters that we knew, especially when they had already done the whole Stab movie thing inside of the Scream franchise, which these characters were redone. So it's like, why? I don't know. And with that said, there was an introduction of other characters, other main characters with ties or not to the past and the present. And I just honestly was not compelled to care about them. Honestly, about 20 to 30 minutes into the movie, because this movie runs kind of long, guys. About 20 to 30 minutes into the movie, I thought to myself, where are the legacy characters? Basic, unimaginative kills. This is probably the worst of the 3, if you ask me, because I can look past the fact that maybe it didn't add anything to the lore that I felt was necessary, and maybe the newer characters weren't all that interesting. But if you're gonna have it so that this is a slasher movie, a Scream slasher movie at that, which did such a good job, especially the first one, and kind of, I don't want to say transcending the slasher genre. I want to say somewhat redefining it, adding some new formulas within the slasher genre, the well-aware, the self-conscious slasher genre. And this one, it just fell flat with the kills. When I thought about it after I finished and thought about the kills, I couldn't even think of my favorite one. And I usually have a favorite kill in most of the horror movies I watch, particularly a Scream one or a slasher one, right? And all of them just felt so similar to each other. They felt so similar to each other. Like, wow. One trick pony, Ghostface here. And I just think that's kind of not good. I mean, if this is supposed to be some newer type thing, wouldn't you think there'd be usually you up the stakes with the kills, you add a flair to it because it's like, well, I'm the new one now or not or something, and it just didn't. 3 reasons for watching Scream 5. Nostalgia. I'll admit it was nice seeing characters that I knew from a franchise that I like, from particularly the first movie. It was great seeing those characters in various ways. With that said, though, I will say, do you need a whole new movie to watch characters that you love, or could you just go watch the movies they were originally in this franchise? And you'd probably be better off for that. But with that said, it was nice to see the characters. It was also nice to see references to things that happened in that way. They were nice, but once again, not necessarily the most compelling. Legacy characters. I mean, you had some callbacks, and it was great seeing people who are the characters that we had come to either be attached to or know or like or quote various ways. And that was nice to also see. Now, with that said, I am of the school of thought that I tend to like my fave characters to kind of walk off into the sunset after a few movies. And I get very nervous when they come back because I fear that Hollywood has a tendency to think, well, we gotta make it really big, so that means so-and-so's gotta go, or something like that. That was my impression of a Hollywood bigwig. And I get worried for my faves to the point where I'm like, I would rather they not be in this movie. Like, just have some photos of them. But then in this particular movie, there would have been no compelling characters in this movie had the legacy characters not been there. So it's a double-edged sword in that regard. But I really enjoyed seeing them. So if you want to see them older and more mature, or, see what happened and things like that, then that's a good reason. It's not absolutely horrible. Just not very great. When I finished the film, I honestly just felt like, oh, okay. Yeah. And that's interesting, right? Because it felt like it should have been more epic than what it was. And I think there were times when it just felt a bit melodramatic. Certain things were added into the lore that felt really contrived. Like, I'm talking soap opera contrived here. Like, really? Like, what is this? General Hospital? What am I watching? Is this One Life to Live? Young and the Restless? What is this plot twist stuff? It really felt like that. And yeah, that really took away from it. And it wasn't as fun as the previous films. I think it took itself a little too seriously, which is interesting considering this franchise began because it didn't take slasher movies seriously. I didn't think I wasted my time watching it. I just think I could have waited a bit longer to look at it. Okay, y'all, those are my 3 reasons against and for watching Scream 5. Let me know if you agree. Comment down below. Let me know. And let me know, what is your fave movie in the Scream franchise? Thanks for watching. Keep it creepy out there.